I think you saw it as well as me, but I didn't have the film in front of me to look at everybody. But, you can't you're not supposed to come off the bench, but you can't let your players get beat up. So.
Did they tell you what Dylan did? Because we didn't see anything.
I didn't see it. And look, it was a tough game to officiate. Certainly, the crowd, I think, lost objectivity of what they're here for. If they're just here to poke fun at Bryce Hopkins and not get a win for the Friars, that's not the Friars I remember in '87. So I think you got to try to win, and we're really excited to get a W because we were without a lot of players, and we still came away with a victory. So I'm proud of our guys.
Rick, can you just kind of explain how you kind of saw your team come together after the fight?
Yeah, I think. Listen, one thing you can understand: we didn't initiate anything. We talk toughness is not turning the ball over, creating steals, getting offensive rebounds. That's what we believe toughness is, and that's all we talked about throughout the entire time. And we made some big plays. My guys were tired. Zuby was tired, and he said, one time, I don't want to hear that nonsense. Nobody's tired. And I'm sure he was exhausted.
Zuby, what do you just tell us what you saw?
But we're not going to address that. Let the league address it. If you want to talk basketball, talk basketball.
What did you think?
You write what you saw. Don't ask my players what they. Okay, thank you.
Zuby, what did you think of how you guys responded after all that, especially Dylan coming up clutch there with 16 points?
I feel like we responded in the best way possible. We're out 3 of our players, and Dylan does what Dylan been pretty much doing for a big stretch now. So really proud of the guys. And how we competed for 40 minutes, and it is always a tough place to play in, especially you get a win. So we did exactly what we came here to do.
Dylan, you guys got off to a great start. They got back into the game before the half. You got out a little run there, stopped them. What kind of changed to allow them to get back in the game?
I'm not sure. I can't pinpoint it right now.
Is there anything more on your end defensively, or maybe just better execution on their end?
I think they executed well. I think we needed to really lock in on the defensive side of the ball and only allow one shot. But I couldn't pinpoint something right now.
Dylan, following the interruption in the fight, you guys are now playing with a shorter bench. Can you sort of describe what the difference is for a mindset of we're shorthanded now and how we have to play?
You try not to think about it, but definitely some of us needed to step up without our leader, D. Mitch, one of our leaders, and somebody needed to step up, and I just tried to bring energy, and we were fired up from the exchange, but just tried to bring energy. And
what you don't realize, he had 8 rebounds in the game, and they were all tough. And ever since he got that T-shirt made up, he's just got brought to a new level.
Dylan, you had 8 straight points, I think, after the fight. Was there anything specifically said during that long break towards you about being more aggressive when the game resumed?
No. Just after the exchange, we knew we needed to, focus and on every small detail to win the game, and that was really just our focus. And just came out and played hard, and things went that way.
Zuby, can you sort of share with us how you felt about the way that the team remained focused on the idea of winning the game, even though there was so much other stuff going on?
That's just who we are, and we know exactly what we're playing for. We're playing for a championship, and that's a one game at a time mentality. And I don't know how much minutes was left on the clock, but our biggest thing was to stay composed through it all. Just worry about everything in between the lines and not focus on anything else. It's just us, and really proud of guys for how we fought through everything that was thrown our way, and church bells.
By the way, you won the MVP bells today.
What do you think it meant to Bryce for you guys to win this game today? Obviously, that's a really tough environment there.
Obviously, you guys heard a fair amount of boos when he caught the ball, but coming into this game, we knew exactly how rowdy this environment was going to be, especially not only for him but for all of us included. And we knew it was going to be tough. You would have to have a great mindset to come in here and win, and I think that's what we did. And I think obviously with him had been playing here, it's a good feeling to come out with a win. Really unfortunate how everything else was included, but really proud of how we fought through it all, like I said, and did exactly what we came here to do, which is get a victory.
Rick, when teams get more physical, not necessarily escalate the way it did, but teams can come together and get tougher. Do you sense that that's what happened to your team?
Yeah, we feel toughness is getting steals, getting rebounds, getting deflections, setting great screens. I think that's what we describe as toughness. We don't think you can't fight. Back when I was the Kentucky coach, we fought almost every SEC game, and it was not a big deal. But you can't fight anymore, so toughness has to come between the lines.
Did you see more of that toughness of setting screens and after the?
Yeah, I think. Look, this young man here, rebounding wise, he just has a mindset. I'm going to get that rebound, and I think it's a valuable lesson for all the other players, from Ian to Joe-san, all the players there, to see what he did on the backboard to grab rebounds with the game on the line. So he's having a great second half of the season. He deserves it. He's a hard worker. He's a great guy. He's epitomizes what you want in an athlete, in a basketball player. All these guys do. They're a great group. I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. A great group of guys.
Rick, your players did not come out individually during introductions. How mindful were you of protecting Bryce in that moment?
That's why I did it. It's look, I can understand the anger when anybody leaves. I can understand it. But you have to understand this. Bryce is a great guy. He blew out his knee. Things weren't going well for him. He wanted just to change. It had nothing to do with Providence or the coaching staff. They're excellent. He just wanted to change. And I thought he was going to Georgetown, to be honest with you. And it was tough for him. I went through it at Kentucky. And it hurts. It hurts. You can put on a good front, but it hurts because it's not easy emotionally. But he fought through it. He got through it. And I just said, Bryce, the most important thing is going away with a victory. And he got the victory.
I just have to ask you, you abandoned any fingers ever today? Did that happen during this?
Yeah, somebody just hit me on the finger when I was out there. No. No, that's not true. It's not true. Yes.
You guys haven't lost since the last time you played Providence. What has changed in the last 2 months that you guys have played only now that was expected from the beginning of the year?
I think all coaches, I'm sure it's true of Kim, sure Marquette's playing very well right now. Providence has almost beat Connecticut twice. What happens to all of us is we got all new players. They don't know each other. We get to know them. They get to know me. And it's just so difficult to coach nowadays. The portal's easy. The paying the players is easy. But there's no continuity. You got to build every year. Next year, I'm going to lose. He's back, but everybody else is leaving. So it's difficult on all coaches to try and get the most. There's no continuity. Okay, last year we lost in the Sweet 16, so this year will be better. We got 4 starters back. Those days are over. So it's very, very difficult.
Do you enjoy the challenge?
I'm sorry?
Do you enjoy the challenge of rebuilding?
Yeah, I think I have a little experience with the EuroLeague, because in the EuroLeague, at the time I was coaching, they only give 1-year contracts. If you're great, they give 2 years. So every year you're looking for 7 or 8 different guys. So it sort of reminds me of that. But I had to stay at St. John's and go back to the EuroLeague, so it's one or the other.